Okay, greetings. My name's Rich. This is channel is Classic Games Redefined, and what we're doing now is we have Tabletop Simulator booted up once more. Again, it's just easier for the camera work. And what we have here is we have a game. This is the game Settlers of Catan. Now we're going to ask the question, why this game? Why bother with this game? Why know anything about it? Why is it worth your time? And that's what we're going to go into. I'm going to give you from a design perspective that I had in here, my experience with this game here. This game isn't, I will tell you now, this game currently is not like one of my top games. But it is such a groundbreaking game. It actually, the wave of games we have coming out of Europe, it's called Euros, these are called German games, can be attributed to this game. And there was other games like Carcassonne, that's another video I will do sometime, on why this game's groundbreaking and what it does. And we're going to go into the reasons why you would want to consider it. It's a 3 to 4 player game. I do have a variant that enables you to play it 2 players, but I'll have to show that some other time. Excuse me a second. And that would also work in a 3-player game. This is optimally 4 players. Whatever you do, don't play this with 5 or 6. You can do that. Break the group up into 2 or so players. There's rules for it, but it's not really that way. The way this game works is just to give you, I'm going to go through the advantages, but I'll tell you why in a minute here. But you take the dice you roll, and then let's say I roll a 5, then all these tiles that have 5 on them will give you what they have on here. You would get, if you had a piece here, for some reason I can't put a piece that lights going in the middle. You're supposed to have these pieces on the intersection. You're going to start by getting them out. What you do is that I roll 5, as opposed to moving piece or anything else combat, it tells you what you get. And you get the goods, and then you can trade with ports. If you have a house there, you can trade items, like 3 of one type for these, and they're here. See these brick and stuff? You trade them here, and you get these goods. And then these goods, as per this card, let's zoom into a second. You have a card here like this. It's a trading card. I'm going to Tabletop Simulator, let us go in. What you have here, so you have goods. So you trade to get like a road to put on another road. And that's how you connect. You expand. Or you get these development cards which do things. They're like event cards. You know, if you know anything about Monopoly, they're kind of like chance community chess. They do things, they can affect other players. And you roll, you move, and you get goods. And then this thing will go around. If you happen to roll 7 by chance, then the person who rolled the 7 can move the robber somewhere and shut it down. Drop it like there. And then everybody who here, the person who put it would take a card from all players that have houses next to it. I mean, have buildings or settlements, cities or settlements. You take a settlement, build a city. You get cards, and then you have to reduce your hand size to, you cut it in half. Anyhow, now that is the basic game, and then there's cards here you get across. You also get bonus points. The object is you're playing to 10 victory points. So you have this thing here. Like if you have the most army, there are night cards you get out, or the longest road. It's a straight line. You get these points. And then the object is to play the 10 victory points. Now, that's the basics of the game. If you know Monopoly and stuff, this would seem new to you. If you've played Settlers before, this is, you know, you can go into why I think it worked. Anyhow, let's go into the reasons why. I summed out what happened here. This, as I said, the first time I played it, I played another game that came out of Europe, and I really didn't like it at all. It just totally disappointed me. I think it's by hook or by crook or something. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. I downloaded Flexic. I think it was it. Just did absolutely nothing to me, and I went, bleh. But anyhow, I played this game. Somebody had it, and it got good reviews, and it was magic. The idea of playing, and this, and we'll get in a minute why it was magic for me. So what you have here is, it's magic. I mean, that's the thing you have, is that it was just really an amazing experience. Played a bunch of times. Then got exposed to other games, which we will show on the channel. Kind of going over my favorites and everything else. And then, that came back. Actually didn't have this. Came back, and it's a game I'll play occasionally time to time, particularly somebody who's never played it before. It's that good of a game. What makes it good, though? What makes it fun? That there is a number of elements in here that are interesting, which you may not be aware of by looking at this if you haven't seen it before. One thing, this setup's variable. You see this? That changes every time. You're going to pick one spot, and there go numbers E, F, G. You go around, you put them around in a circle, and then there's tiles underneath. These are not sets. Those were randomly distributed. I just did not do it now. So it allows for a board that's variable and customizable. And that's a little bit of a thing. And there's also the effect of trading. The dynamics of trading and deal making, which is fun. If you're into that thing, it's fun. A lot of player action. That's one of the fun things for Monopoly. So, you have players in deal making. I'll trade you this, I'll trade you that there with the one player whose turn it is, who rolled the trade. This could, by the way, this is the robber as I move. One of the things usually if I play, I'll put it started in the desert. You don't get anything from that there. There is also, by the way, this basic mechanic work. There's a Star Trek version of it. There's historical versions. There's a sci-fi one called Starfarers. By the way, this is now Catan. And it was Settlers of Catan. I got called Catan so much. Play this in under 2 hours, unless things go wrong. Relatively quick game, 90 minutes. That's a trademark of the games out of Europe, what they call Euro category. There's no player elimination in this. None. The thing is, you're making deals. So if you have a game night, want guys come over and do it. You know, there's advantages of games that have player elimination. If you're really doing horrible, if you're doing really bad, it's benefit. I mean, it can be beneficial to eliminate. But if you're 4 players, 3-4 players together and doing it, to have elimination, you're sitting around doing nothing. So there's none of that. There's the player interaction, and then there's the fun of getting these goods. You know, I had a payday, and if I have like a city on it, you know, where this board looks like, I'm not exactly sure what it was, but, you know, I have one, and let's say I had a piece here and a piece here, okay, and a 5 came up. I could get that good and that good. So the idea of getting goodies, including, like, the development cards, you get goodies. And getting goodies, like the slot machine, which is the rolling of the dice here, is really interesting. I mean, it's fun and enjoyable. And plus, you have the player interaction, and there isn't player elimination. And the board's dynamics. You can play every single time. And that was interesting. There have been some earlier versions where even these tiles could be put out differently. They put the ports and fixed it. But there's a lot of flexibility. And you'll find other versions of it, too. Like I mentioned, the Star Trek version. There's history ones. And they do different things. And they all different stuff here. Lends well to variants also. So it's customizable. You can play the game a lot and get a lot of mileage out of it. And that's the good points for why Settlers of Catan here. So, okay, you know what? We summed up the variable setup, the trading and deal making, the play length, no player elimination. And the fact is, you'll have a fun time playing if you haven't played before. And there's really not necessarily a lot of math. There's managing things. There's odd calculation. It's intriguing at the beginning of the game. So anyhow, we'll have a link below to Board Game Geek for more information on this. Go check it out. Check out other people's videos. This is a huge game. It's sold millions and millions and millions of copies. And if you're not familiar with it, it's something worth trying. And, okay, that's it. We'll be showing stuff in the coming weeks here. But, yeah, I just want to show Catan. So, okay, that's it. I did want to thank you for watching. May your die always roll 5.